It is officially go time in the garden. So here to help set us up for success, we welcome back gardening coach Tiffany Garner. Always so nice to see you.
Great to be back.
It is go time.
It's go time officially.
Stuff is happening.
Yeah, stuff is happening. Super thankful for this rain that we're getting.
Yes.
That was much needed.
It feels like plants and flowers and things are just exploding right now.
Yeah, everything is waking up, which means the pests are waking up too.
Right.
Yeah. So we're gonna start in our garden this year by, preventing the pests.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that first because it's harder to get rid of them once they've arrived. It's easier to just make sure they're not welcome.
As with many things in
Right,
life.
exactly.
Okay, where should we begin?
So we're starting off with keeping our plants healthy and strong. So fertilize your plants. It's often people forget to fertilize their plants. Yeah, you might put a little splash in when you plant it and then forget about it.
Right.
But go ahead and go back in every couple of weeks and give it a little more food. I always just stick with some organic, all-purpose kind of vegetable.
Yeah.
There's a wall of fertilizers. You don't have to pick a specific one.
Sure.
I love organic. You can't burn your plants with it, and just a general all-purpose.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. So keep them healthy. And then next, we're gonna keep the pests off the plants.
Okay.
If we can, by creating barriers. One of my favorite things is this micro mesh.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's just a really fine mesh material, and it's a really kind of a plasticky situation. So
kind of looks like screen door material.
yeah, like screen door material, but a little more flexible.
Yeah.
And I've had this piece for years.
Oh, okay.
I reuse it over and over and over again. And this, you just drape it over your plants.
Okay.
You can, if you want, put stakes around it to make it look a little cleaner. But this will just simply keep the pests off, like great for brassicas. So your kale, broccoli, chard.
Okay.
They get those cabbage moths. They're the little white moths that flit around your garden,
Yes.
and they lay the eggs.
Yes.
Well, if they can't get to your plant to lay the eggs,
Makes a lot of sense.
yeah, so
okay.
keeping the barriers up there. Also, that frost cloth that I use all the time, spring and fall, to keep your plants warm, can work the same way.
Oh, interesting.
I have right now, my kale bed is completely covered in this. Since I put them in the ground, they're still growing.
Oh, okay.
Because the sun still gets through this
That
enough.
was my question.
Yeah.
They can still get the sunlight.
Absolutely,
Okay.
still get sunlight. The rain is still working. I have actually a drip system, so the water gets in there, but the pests can't. The birds and the moths have yet to touch my kale. It's gorgeous. I also have greenhouse plastic, which you can buy, like by the yard at a lot of garden centers. You can make your own little greenhouse around your plants to keep the bugs off. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
A serious barrier if you have rabbits in your yard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they seem to be pretty healthy this year, the rabbits.
They're very cute.
Yeah.
Lots of little baby bunnies around, but you don't want them
They are hungry.
getting into all your stuff.
Exactly, and they nibble it all. So physically keeping them off your plants.
Okay.
So putting the barrier. Also, if you have moles and voles,
Yes.
that's when you want to think about maybe if you're doing specifically vegetables, having a raised bed, and then you put this on the bottom.
Okay.
So they can't get up.
They are determined.
They are.
They're going to find a way.
Yeah.
So you've got to make it as difficult as possible.
Exactly.
Okay. What else is over here?
Slugs and snails are out in force right now, and so I like to stick with an organic sluggo situation. This is bird safe because birds will nibble at it, and pet safe as well. So if you have dogs snorting around in your garden, that's safe for them. Also, an even safer route is the beer trap.
Oh.
Good old-fashioned beer trap.
Sure.
And again, we're using one of my favorite things is the recycle bin.
Okay.
And so I just have a little plastic container, like a tuna can works perfectly.
Sure.
And you're gonna bury this, dig a hole and put it into the ground so it's flush. You're gonna put some cheap beer in there. And then the slugs love the smell of the beer and they go in there. I call it a frat party, and they perish.
Love that.
Then you can also use like that top half I cut here, and I'm just reusing it to make plant tags.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea.
Come on, double up.
Zero waste.
Double up, zero waste with the plant tags there. And then BT this is a bacteria, and it's been used for about 100 years.
Okay.
And it is organic, and it is for caterpillars only. So if you didn't put a barrier up and you've got moths all over, the BT is something you can spray on your plants. It's totally organic. It can be used even up to the day of harvest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also great for if you have hanging baskets baskets with petunias in them. They always get really buggy.
Yes, they do.
Works for that.
You're like, they look so pretty, but I'm walking through a jungle trying to get out my front door sometimes. Okay, and these are some gorgeous little tomato starts you have over here.
They don't have anything to do with pest control, but it is
but we're going to protect them.
That's right.
These are the shining stars that all this is for.
That's
so you
right.
can actually eat your tomatoes.
That's right.
When they grow.
That's right.
You did all this work. You want to get the spoils.
You got to get something out of it. And it's time. It's a little chilly outside, but it is finally time. If you're not up in the West Hills, maybe it's a little too cold.
That's true.
But if you're down lower, temperature is good to go for tomatoes.
I love that. Hey, thank you so much.
You're
you always
welcome.
bring the best stuff. Great to see you. Okay, we'll have these tips and more about Tiffany on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.